Did you know that just one nut can give you over 100% of your daily selenium needs? A mineral your body relies on for a healthy thyroid, strong immune defense, and even a balanced mood. Meanwhile, another common nut might quietly raise your risk of kidney stones, especially if you're not careful. That's right. When you're over 50, every bite matters. And so many of us often reach for nuts thinking they're the ultimate healthy snack. But while some are nutritional powerhouses, others can actually work against your health goals, particularly as your body's needs shift with age. So in this video, we're breaking down the 5 nuts you absolutely should be eating after 50, and the 4 you might want to avoid. If you want to age stronger, feel sharper, and protect your long-term health with every snack, stay right here. And without any further delay, let's dive right into the first powerhouse nut you absolutely need to know about. Yes, walnuts. You might not realize it, but these little brain-shaped beauties are incredible for your brain, heart, and even your bones. But why are they so amazing? Well, let's break it down, starting with your brain. Just 1 ounce of walnuts, which is about 14 halves, packs in a powerful 2.5 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid. Now here's why that's a big deal. The average adult needs far less, around 1.6 grams a day for men and just 1.1 grams for women. So with a single serving, you're already going well beyond your daily requirement. But the real magic is in what omega-3s actually do for your body. They help reduce inflammation in the brain, strengthen nerve function, improve memory, and even slow down cognitive decline. That becomes incredibly important as we age, especially when you consider that 1 in every 9 adults over the age of 65 is now living with Alzheimer's. So when we say walnuts are a game changer for your brain, we're not just talking. The science is clear, and the benefits are real. But the brain isn't the only organ getting the benefits here. Your heart loves walnuts too. As we get older, cholesterol becomes more than just a number on a report. It's a real concern. Walnuts have been shown to help lower low-density lipoprotein, or LDL cholesterol. That's the harmful kind that clogs up your arteries like sludge in a pipe. And if it's left unchecked, it can lead to artery hardening, high blood pressure, and eventually even heart attacks. But walnuts go a step further. They also help reduce C-reactive protein, which is a major marker of inflammation in the body. And chronic inflammation is behind so many of the health issues people face after 50, from heart disease to metabolic problems. So with just a small handful of walnuts a day, you're not just enjoying a snack, you're giving your heart the kind of care it deserves. And now, if you're living with diabetes or trying to prevent it, here's some great news. Walnuts have a glycemic index of just 15. That's incredibly low, which means they won't cause blood sugar spikes. They're safe, stable, and supportive for anyone watching their glucose levels. Now you might be wondering, what about calories? That's a great question, especially if you're watching your weight. 1 ounce of walnuts has about 185 calories. Yes, that's a bit calorie dense, but the trick is in the portion. You're not eating a bowl of walnuts. Just 5 to 7 halves a day is enough. And those calories are coming from healthy fats, plant-based protein, and fiber, all of which help you feel full, satisfied, and energized without the crash. And here's a cool trick. If you soak your walnuts overnight, you can actually improve digestibility and make those nutrients easier for your body to absorb. Plus, when you're buying walnuts, always go for the raw, organic ones. And make sure they're vacuum sealed to keep them fresh. For storage, keep them in the fridge or even in the freezer. This prevents them from going rancid. But let's be honest, there are a couple of things you need to keep in mind. Walnuts are high in calories, so if you're watching your weight, it's best not to go overboard. Just a small handful a day is enough to give you the benefits without packing on extra calories. And here's something really important. Walnuts are one of the most common tree nut allergens. For people with a tree nut allergy, even a tiny amount can cause anything from mild itching or swelling to serious reactions like difficulty breathing or anaphylaxis. So if you've ever had allergic symptoms from nuts, or if you're unsure, always talk to your doctor before adding them to your diet. But if you're not allergic and you're looking to protect your brain, lower your cholesterol, and support your overall health, walnuts are a true superstar. Now that we've uncovered the powerful benefits of walnuts for your brain and heart, let's dive into the next nut that should be a staple in your diet: almonds. Now, you may already be tossing a few almonds into your oatmeal or snacking on them during the day, but do you really know what they're doing inside your body? Trust me, this is one nut you definitely want to include in your daily routine, especially as you get older. But how? Let's take a closer look at why almonds are so amazing. First off, just 1 ounce, which is about 23 almonds, delivers around 164 calories and a seriously impressive nutrient profile. You get about 6 grams of protein, 3.5 grams of fiber, and nearly 20% of your daily magnesium needs. That's 76 milligrams, right there in your handful. Oh, and did we mention calcium? Another 76 milligrams. Not bad for something that isn't dairy. Here's why this matters, especially after 50. Your bones start losing density, and the numbers are sobering. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 4 men over 50 will suffer a bone fracture due to osteoporosis. Almonds step in with a powerful combo of magnesium and calcium that helps maintain strong bones and supports nerve and muscle function. That magnesium also plays a role in insulin sensitivity, which is a big win for anyone managing or trying to prevent type 2 diabetes. Now, speaking of blood sugar, as 50% of seniors are diabetic or pre-diabetic, almonds have a glycemic index of just 15, which is extremely low. That means they won't spike your glucose levels, and even better when eaten with high-carb meals, they can actually slow down blood sugar spikes. It's like a natural buffer for your system. But the magic doesn't stop there. Almonds are also rich in vitamin E, about 7.3 milligrams per ounce, nearly half your daily requirement. This antioxidant isn't just good for your skin. It plays a major role in cell repair, fighting free radicals, and slowing the signs of aging from the inside out. So yes, these nuts are doing some real anti-aging work while you snack. And if you're watching your heart health, almonds help lower low-density lipoprotein cholesterol and improve arterial function, which is key for keeping your blood vessels flexible and your heart pumping strong. So, how much should you be eating? For the best results, aim for about 1 ounce, or roughly 23 almonds a day. That's all you need to reap the full benefits without overdoing it. And here's a handy pro tip. Soak your almonds overnight. This helps remove enzyme inhibitors, making them much easier to digest and allowing your body to absorb those nutrients more effectively. When buying, always go for raw or dry roasted, unsalted, and non-GMO varieties. Store them in an airtight container in a cool, dark place to keep them fresh and crunchy. However, keep in mind that almonds are amazing, but moderation matters. Overeating can cause bloating for some people, and because they contain phytates, large amounts may slightly affect how your body absorbs iron. But for most people, 1 serving a day is safe, nourishing, and deeply supportive of long-term health. So whether you're thinking about your bones, your blood sugar, or just want to age a little more gracefully, almonds are an easy and delicious way to invest in your well-being, one satisfying crunch at a time. Moving forward, let's switch things up with a surprising nut that's not only delicious, but also packed with benefits you may not have expected. Pistachios. Yes, you heard that right. These vibrant little green gems are more than just a tasty snack. They're powerhouses for your eyes, heart, and even your waistline. Curious? Let's dive into why pistachios should be your next go-to snack. First, let's talk about your eyes. As we age, the risk of macular degeneration increases significantly, especially after 50. But here's where pistachios shine. They're loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 essential nutrients that protect your eyes from harmful light and oxidative stress. These antioxidants are crucial in maintaining macular health, so adding pistachios to your diet can help keep your vision sharp and clear, especially as you age. But the benefits don't stop at your eyes. Your heart loves pistachios too. As we get older, keeping our cholesterol in check becomes more important than ever. Pistachios can help lower both total and low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, which is the harmful kind that can build up in your arteries and lead to heart disease. They also provide around 290 milligrams of potassium per ounce, helping to regulate blood pressure and keep your heart pumping strong. So, just a handful of these nuts can really do wonders for your cardiovascular health, just like walnuts do for your brain and heart. Now, let's talk about blood sugar. Pistachios have a glycemic index of just 15, which is considered low. This makes them an excellent snack for anyone managing diabetes or trying to keep their blood sugar stable. And, much like almonds, pistachios don't cause blood sugar spikes. And when eaten with high-carb meals, they can actually help slow down those spikes. This makes pistachios a smart choice for anyone keeping an eye on their glucose levels. But that's not all. Pistachios are also great for weight control. With their combination of fiber and protein, they keep you feeling full and satisfied, helping curb the temptation to snack on less nutritious options. This makes them a great choice for anyone looking to manage their weight while still enjoying a delicious snack. To get the full benefits, stick to about 49 pistachios per day, which is roughly 1 ounce. And here's a pro tip: eat them in shell. Not only does this slow down your consumption, but it also makes the experience more enjoyable, giving you that satisfying feeling as you work for each healthy bite. Moreover, when buying pistachios, go for unsalted, dry-roasted varieties to avoid excess sodium and added preservatives. Make sure they're free of artificial flavorings too. For storage, keep them sealed in a cool, dry place, or even refrigerate them to maintain their freshness. Now, here's something important to keep in mind. Pistachios are part of the tree nut family, so they could trigger allergies in some people. If you're allergic to other tree nuts, like almonds, walnuts, or cashews, it's best to steer clear of pistachios as well. If you're unsure or have a history of nut allergies, it's always a good idea to check with your doctor before adding them to your diet. And of course, moderation is key. Eating too many pistachios might lead to bloating or gas, so be sure to stick to the recommended serving size. Now, are you ready for another nut that's going to surprise you with its incredible benefits? Let's dive into Brazil nuts. These nuts might be small, but they're packed with some powerful nutrients that can do wonders for your health, especially when it comes to thyroid function and boosting immunity. So, let's take a deeper dive into why Brazil nuts are such a game changer for your body, particularly as you age. First off, as we get older, thyroid issues, especially hypothyroidism, become more common, and they can have a significant impact on your energy levels, metabolism, and overall health. Here's where Brazil nuts come in. These nuts are one of the best natural sources of selenium, a mineral that plays a vital role in thyroid hormone production. Just one Brazil nut can provide you with up to 91 micrograms of selenium, which is over 100% of the recommended daily intake. By incorporating just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts into your diet each day, you're giving your thyroid the support it needs to function properly and helping to reduce inflammation that can disrupt its activity. But that's not all. As we age, our immune system also tends to weaken, leaving us more vulnerable to illnesses. The good news is that selenium doesn't just help with thyroid function. It also plays a key role in strengthening your immune system. It supports the activity of white blood cells, which are essential for fighting off infections and maintaining a healthy immune response. So, by eating Brazil nuts, you're essentially giving your body a natural immunity boost, which becomes more important as you get older. Another unexpected benefit of Brazil nuts is their positive effect on your mood and mental health. Selenium has been linked to improved mood and reduced anxiety, making these nuts a great natural way to support your mental health. Not to mention, selenium is also known to help with cognitive function, so by incorporating Brazil nuts into your diet, you're not only boosting your immunity and thyroid health, but also supporting your brain function as you age. However, as with anything, moderation is key. Brazil nuts are incredibly nutrient-dense, so you don't need to eat a lot to get the benefits. In fact, just 1 to 2 nuts a day is enough to meet your selenium needs. And remember, Consuming too many can lead to selenium toxicity, which can cause symptoms like nausea, hair loss, and even a metallic taste in your mouth. So, it's important to keep your serving small and reap the benefits without going overboard. When it comes to buying Brazil nuts, look for fresh, organic nuts if you can. Whether shelled or unshelled, fresh nuts are your best bet. And since Brazil nuts contain oils that go rancid quickly, storing them in the fridge is a good way to keep them fresh and preserve their nutrients for longer. Moreover, keep in mind that if you're currently taking thyroid medication, it's a good idea to consult your doctor before adding Brazil nuts to your diet, as excessive selenium can interfere with your thyroid medication. But when eaten in moderation, Brazil nuts are a fantastic way to support your thyroid, boost your immune system, and improve your mood, all with just a couple of nuts a day. Now, let's move on to another nut that's not just tasty, but also packed with health benefits. Yes, we're talking about hazelnuts. These little nuts may not get as much attention as some others, but they're an absolute powerhouse when it comes to promoting circulation, protecting your cells with antioxidants, and supporting your heart health. Let's explore why hazelnuts are a must-have for your diet, especially as you age. As we hit our 50s and beyond, maintaining healthy circulation becomes increasingly important. Good circulation is key for heart health, brain function, and even sexual health. Hazelnuts are rich in monounsaturated fats, which are heart-healthy fats that help improve circulation by reducing the low-density lipoprotein, or bad cholesterol in your bloodstream. This can help keep your arteries flexible, reduce your blood pressure, and promote overall cardiovascular health. It's a simple way to give your heart some tender loving care with just a small handful of nuts. But the benefits don't stop there. Hazelnuts are also packed with antioxidants, including vitamin E, which is crucial for protecting your cells from free radical damage. Free radicals are unstable molecules that can accelerate the aging process and contribute to a range of health problems. By incorporating hazelnuts into your diet, you're boosting your body's defenses against these damaging molecules, which can slow down aging and reduce cell damage over time. And speaking of vitamin E, did you know that it plays a significant role in protecting your skin and eyes from age-related degeneration? That's right. Hazelnuts can help keep you looking and feeling younger for longer. In addition to their antioxidant benefits, hazelnuts also support your immune system by lowering levels of C-reactive protein, or CRP, a marker for inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is linked to a range of health issues, so reducing it is a great way to support your long-term health. Now, if you're managing blood sugar levels or are concerned about diabetes, you'll be happy to know that hazelnuts have a very low glycemic index, about 10 to 15, meaning they won't cause a spike in your blood sugar levels. This makes them an excellent choice for anyone with diabetes or anyone looking to stabilize their glucose levels throughout the day. So, how do you enjoy these nutrient-packed nuts? Just 1 ounce a day, about 20 to 25 hazelnuts is all you need to reap the full benefits. You can snack on them as is, add them to smoothies, or even turn them into nut butter. The options are endless. When buying hazelnuts, try to choose raw, whole hazelnuts with the skin on, as the skin contains additional antioxidants and nutrients. And to keep them fresh, store them in an airtight jar in a cool, dry spot. However, it's worth noting that hazelnuts are a common allergen, especially for those who have tree nut allergies. If you've had allergic reactions to nuts in the past, it's best to avoid them or consult with your doctor before incorporating them into your diet. Now, there you have it. Nuts that can do wonders for your health after 50. But as we've mentioned, not all nuts are created equal. While some are packed with essential nutrients, others may not be the best choice for your health, especially as you age. So, let's dive into the nuts you should avoid. And first up, we've got a big one. Cashews. Cashews might be your favorite snack, but they come with a hidden risk that you need to know about. One of the key concerns with cashews, particularly as we age, is their high oxalate content. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds found in certain foods, and when consumed in large amounts, they can bind with calcium in your body. This forms calcium oxalate crystals, which can lead to the formation of kidney stones. If you have a history of kidney stones, or if your kidney function isn't as strong as it once was, cashews could pose a problem. Now let's break down what's actually in a serving of cashews. 1 ounce, which is roughly 18 nuts, provides 157 calories, a blend of healthy fats, 5.2 grams of protein, and 81.8 milligrams of magnesium, covering about 20% of your daily magnesium needs. Sounds great, right? However, even though they offer these nutrients, their high oxalate levels should not be overlooked. This is especially important if you're someone who is prone to kidney stones or has experienced them in the past. Another factor to consider is the saturated fat content in cashews. While fats are a vital part of a balanced diet, excessive amounts of saturated fats, especially in older age, can have an impact on your heart health. While cashews are generally lower in saturated fat than other nuts, consuming them in excess could still affect your cardiovascular system in the long term. But if you're a fan of cashews, how can you still enjoy them without risking your kidney or heart health? The key is moderation. Limit your intake to a small portion and make sure to stay well hydrated. Drinking plenty of water can help flush out excess oxalates, reducing your risk of kidney stones. When choosing cashews, it's best to pick unsalted, dry-roasted varieties. This ensures you avoid unnecessary sodium and unhealthy fats that can be added during processing. Storing them properly is also important. Make sure to keep them in an airtight container in a cool, dry place to preserve their freshness and prevent them from going rancid. Now, let's move on to another nut that may sound delicious, but comes with some important cautions. Macadamia nuts. Now, I know they're delicious and have that buttery crunch, but let's take a closer look at what's inside. A typical serving of macadamia nuts, about 10 to 12 nuts, or 1 ounce, packs in an impressive 204 calories. That's a hefty number for just a small handful of nuts. On top of that, they come with 21.5 grams of fat, of which a significant portion is saturated fat, about 3.4 grams per ounce. While fat is an essential nutrient, consuming too much of it, especially the saturated variety, can raise concerns when it comes to heart health and weight management. Here's why this matters, especially over 50. As we age, maintaining a healthy weight becomes more challenging, and with the higher calorie and fat content in macadamia nuts, it's easy to overdo it. If you consume these nuts regularly in large portions, you could inadvertently increase your overall calorie intake and contribute to weight gain. The excess saturated fats could also affect your cholesterol levels, which is something to keep in mind for heart health. Now, this doesn't mean you have to completely cut out macadamia nuts from your diet. Moderation is key. If you do want to include them, try limiting your serving to just 5 or 6 nuts a day. This way, you get the benefits without going overboard on the calories. Pair them with physical activity to balance out the extra fat and calorie intake. When choosing macadamia nuts, go for the raw or dry-roasted, unsalted varieties to avoid any added sodium or unhealthy fats. Be sure to store them properly in a cool, dry place, or if you want to extend their shelf life, refrigerate them. Now, let's turn our attention to peanuts. A nut that's a staple in many diets, but also comes with some health risks, especially as we age. Peanuts might seem like a simple and accessible snack, but there are important factors to consider. 1 ounce of peanuts, or about 28 peanuts, contains around 166 calories, 14.1 grams of total fat, and 7.3 grams of protein. While they offer some protein, the real concern lies in their aflatoxin contamination risk. Aflatoxin is a toxin produced by molds that can grow on peanuts, particularly when they're not stored properly. This toxin is harmful to liver health and can be especially concerning for individuals over 50, as liver function tends to decline with age. In addition to aflatoxin, peanuts may also contribute to inflammation, particularly for individuals who are sensitive to them. This can be problematic for those with chronic inflammatory conditions, which become more common as we get older. Inflammation plays a role in several age-related diseases, including heart disease and joint pain. However, if you are a fan of peanuts, to minimize these risks, it's important to choose high-quality peanuts that have been tested for aflatoxin. Opt for dry roasted, unsalted varieties from trusted sources to avoid unhealthy additives and reduce your exposure to potential toxins. Moderation is also essential. While peanuts do offer some nutritional value, overconsumption can lead to adverse health effects. When storing peanuts, make sure to keep them in a cool, dry place to prevent mold growth and maintain their freshness. Next up, we have chestnuts, a nut that's often linked to the holiday season. But when it comes to health, particularly for those over 50, there are some key factors to consider before indulging in these carb-heavy treats. Let's break it down. 1 ounce of roasted chestnuts, roughly 3 to 4 chestnuts, contains about 70 calories, 0.6 grams of fat, and a significant 15 grams of carbohydrates. While the low-fat content might seem like a plus, the high carbohydrate load can be a bit tricky. Chestnuts have a moderate to high glycemic index of around 60, meaning they can cause blood sugar spikes. If you're dealing with diabetes or insulin resistance, or are just trying to manage your blood sugar levels, this could be a concern. What makes it trickier is that chestnuts are low in protein and fat, unlike some other nuts that provide a balance of healthy fats and protein to slow down sugar absorption. Without these nutrients, chestnuts don't provide the same level of satiety, which could lead to overeating. So, while chestnuts can definitely be enjoyed in moderation, it's important to keep your intake in check, especially if you're focused on managing blood sugar levels. But, if you still want to enjoy chestnuts, here's a helpful tip. Pair them with a protein or healthy fat source, like other nuts or seeds. This will help balance out their carbohydrate-heavy nature and slow down the impact on your blood sugar. When shopping for chestnuts, make sure to select fresh, firm ones with no signs of mold or blemishes. Store them in a breathable bag in the refrigerator, and be sure to consume them within a few weeks for the best taste and freshness. Thanks for watching. If this helped you learn something new or make you rethink what's in your pantry, hit that like button. It helps this video reach more people who really need it. But remember, it's not necessary to eat every single nut daily, nor do you have to completely avoid others. It's all about moderation and finding the balance that works best for you. Share it with someone you care about, your parents, your friends, anyone over 50 who could use a little boost in the right direction. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know. Which nut are you keeping, and which one are you ditching for good?